kindly indicate that you can hear me. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear, kindly indicate that you can. So I think hopefully the internet will be better this evening. I hope so. But when I look at myself from the feeder, it appears I am I am frozen. Okay. Slaughtersus says that he can hear me. Then that's fine. So how has it been? How's your weekend? How's your day been? You know, everyone. How's your is it Idel Fitri? You know, in the spirit of the Idel Fitri, I tried to speak like my brothers and my sisters. And I said greetings to everybody yesterday. So here we are, and it appears everything now works fine. So this evening, if you can tell me where you're watching from, because what we're going to do this evening is going to be a participatory. I might use the first 30 minutes to, you know, make my presentation. Then I'll open up the flow for us to join the conversation, please. If we can, that would be very nice. You know, it's going to make it more interactive than a monologue, so to say. So having said that, we have to start very quickly. So watching me from Germany, what's your name again? David Okowi. David Okowi watching me from Germany. So David, I greet you. Going home from work and enjoying your program. Wow, that you must be a dedicated fan. Ifani Joshua, thank you very much. Okechukwu Okeka said, thank you very much. David once more. Grüße, guten Abend. Wow, from Mbise. Jesus Christ, I feel so special now. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try anywhere you watch me from. I'm going to mimic something from them. You're watching me from Mbise. Igotla. Okay. You're watching me from UK. Oi, mate. Oi, mate. You know what I'm saying? Oi, mate. That's guy watching me from Henley. Watching me from America. What's the American accent? Like people with hot potatoes in their mouth, is it? I can only mimic Trump, but I don't want some of you to get angry. Okay. Moscow. Woo, woo, woo. Moscow. I don't know what to say about Moscow. Oh, Glasgow. Yeah. You know, you guys go off course on the accent. Scotland. XX. I can't even, well, that's English, so I can't even mimic that, okay? Maryland. Everywhere you guys are watching me from, it touches my heart. People, this evening, let's get cracking. Thank you, everyone. Danke sehr. Danke. Na, die Leute, die aus Deutschland kommen, ich bin auch ein Deutscher, ein echter Bremer. Ne? Ich bin ein echter Bremer und auch ein Kieler Sprotte. That is mal gut. So, live from Germany, live from Zurich. Oh, Zurich, Österreich. Es klappert die Blume an rauschendem Wach. Clip, clap, clip, clap. Aha, watching me from Biafra. I don't know which part of Biafra. Where are you watching me from? Let's greet everyone, welcome everyone, assemble. So like the video, show me a thumbs up, just thumbs up, like the video, share the video, invite others. Italy, Oliver Ibekwe from Italy. Ah, buongiorno, buongiorno. Ah, from Zurich, Switzerland. Yeah, Zurich. South Korea. Ah, pardon me, I'm just trying to be. It's Friday. This is my usual Friday hangout where I'm relaxed. This is not any interview. It's just communication, both of us. Oh, from Paris. Oh, apparaissant. Et toi et moi. Et je suis Njenje. Dublin. I don't know what to say about Dublin. Oh, Amsterdam. Alsjeblieft. Roman. Alsjeblieft. All these places. See, funny enough is that I think when the corona is lifted, I'm going to do something. I'm going to, visit. We're going to do a list. Every one of you that wants to host Mazi, I'm going to go around. I come to Europe. I'm going to do a tour of Europe, starting from Heathrow. Some of you that's going to meet me in London. We're going to start somewhere. We'll move round. Oh, Antwerp, Belgium. Yeah, I know. It's quite funny. I've lived in Belgium, actually. I've lived in Cannes, Lunenburg. It's a very lovely place. I like Belgium, very small. The Flemish people. As a student, I went to school in the Netherlands. Every morning I would cycle, with my bicycle from Belgium to Maastricht and go to lectures. And on Fridays, you cycle back to Belgium. And around the evening time, you guys move to Aachen in Germany for parties. And you look, in one day, you've done 3 countries. And now, in doing all these things, you will be going and you're looking at, you see cows. And people have farms. You see heavy cows. All the cows are chipped. And that's one of the things I've advocated here. All the cows are chipped. Maybe for the sensor, the data that is needed. Assuming if that cow breaks away, maybe with that chip, they can find out. And what I'm saying is that we, in these places, we cycled. Now, just suppose that, I know many of you will say, yeah, those are Europe, these are not Africa, but just suppose that's to Africa, where the cows now own a capital territory. Hence, it is called a capital territory, C-O-W, capital territory. So you can move from one country to the other. You see the cows, you stop, you watch them, you go if you want. They feed, they're kept in ranches. And some of you, or rather some of us in Nigeria, would always want to know, and as you always ask me, why is it that our brothers and our sisters in the diaspora appear to be more angrier than those at home? The answer is very simple. Because your brothers and sisters in the diaspora have seen systems that work. Now, understanding that they can have a better system and have a better life, it makes them angry. And that's why you can understand them being angry. But if you say you don't want to understand them, then I'm sorry. Honestly, I understand when they're angry. I tell people, Nigeria appears to be about the only nation that anytime, even if you're leaving the nation for holiday, you go out, you come back, it becomes more terrible than you left it. In February, I was in Lagos. Oh, I'm having a call. I was in Lagos, and it struck me for the first time the towers I saw at the Lagos International Airport, what they call the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. The towers are worn out. And, like I've said it here a couple of times. When I saw that the towers were worn out, I started thinking, why? It's not been long that these towers were replaced. But these towers they weren't hard-wearing towers. Ideally, if you go anywhere in serious countries where you have serious traffic that people go, they use marbles. But come back home, marbles are only used by your oppressors to build their houses. And when it comes to public space, they use inferior materials. The same thing happens both in Enugu and some of the things I saw. Some of us don't know that there is what we call industrial cabs. Cabs. Then sadly, you come to the airport. The cabs that they use in doing those airports are the normal cabs you use when you build your 2-bed, 3-bedrooms. You want to do partitioning for flowers. They use the normal cabs, 120, 110 cabs. That's the same thing. So it's a convolution. Sometimes you think you don't even know where you want to start. But be that is may, we must start somewhere. Someone is making comment about my t-shirt. Yes, I have it different colors, I think the t-shirt is actually available at the mess shop and on YouTube. You can buy them. But eventually, we will give it out to some people who would, we think you're supporting the channel enough, then we'll give you one, as a great supporter of this channel, of this platform. So, people, having said that, may I get back to what we're about to talk about this evening? So, this evening, my usual hangout. Do you know that Buhari's son-in-law is declared wanted by the ICPC? That means the guy don't thief. No be me talker. The guy has done something. He's now declared wanted by ICPC. And the reports has it that, let me quickly pull up the report so that, it's not going to be, you guys will join me. Okay, Biafran First Son says you want one. So you want one as a fan or you want to buy? Okay, let's quickly go here. So you can see this. Let me quickly, okay. Okay, so you can see here, ICPC declares Buhari's son-in-law a persona non grata. As they say, those that blow grammar. We don't know any grammar. The day we went to school, Chalk killed our teacher. So by the time we came out, there was nobody there to teach anymore. Okay. So you can see what I'm looking at here. You see that here? Let me start afresh. See? The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offense Commission, ICPC, has declared Gimba Kumo a son-in-law to President Muhammadu Buhari and 2 others wanted over alleged misappropriation of 65 million, wait for it, dollars. This is not Naira. If Fela was to be alive, he would probably wax a new song, as we call it, waxing a song. What we hear is catch 'em, thief, 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 hold 'em, robber, robber, thief, thief, thief. That's what they basically done. So you can see that he is being accused of commingling misappropriation of $265 million. Now let's go further so that you see we are fighting corruption. The next thing they might tell us now is that we are fighting corruption and the corruption is fighting back. Okay? We don't know where the corruption go, but the corruption is somewhere. So now you look at here, it says Mr. Kumo here is a former managing director of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria that he had in 2016 married Fatima, the president's daughter in Daura. Do you guys remember that marriage that every person, all the who is who, every thief was in attendance, every looter was in attendance. So the ICPC in its list of wanted persons declared Mr. Kumo wanted alongside Terry Rufus and Bola Ogunsola over the alleged fraud. This is unacceptable. Even in the names here, they still marginalized you. Southeast, even in this name of people who stole money, they still marginalized you. Oh no. Oh no. But here, this is where you come in. When it comes to catching thieves, you might not be in the party when the money is stolen, but when it comes to catching them, you will come in. Now, the story continues. In a notice signed by its spokesperson, Azubike Ogugwan, the ICPC urged the public to provide information about the whereabouts of the wanted persons. You see, people that have stolen the money, they've stolen the money, ICC, under their spokesperson, Azoka Ogugwa, is now begging us. So we know, we have the pictures of these people, by the way. See the picture, see the man here. See in picture. So in case, if you want to make yourself good money, some of you are already saying that if he's caught, he will be released. So this is the man here. He is Buhari's in-law, and he has run away with money. Money meant for housing. What type of housing? Housing for the masses. Housing for everyone. Housing for you and I. See, the person in question appears in the pictures above. Tari Rusuf, Gimba Kumo, and Mr. Bola Ogunsola are hereby declared wanted. And they are begging us, anyone with the information, these are numbers to call. ICPC will not get recharge or leave the people to have the little recharge they have to watch my program, not to call. So the Senate Committee on Public Account had in April summoned Kumo to explain the alleged irregular award of 3 billion contract when he was still at the bank. Okay, so 3 billion. 3 billion. Any thievery, any stealing that must happen in billion. If it doesn't happen in billion, that means you're learning. That's what it is. That means the person is a learner. And here we are, people. You have seen it. I don't know what you think. I will give you time to, say your mind as well. So that's number one. I'm trying to rush this thing so that I take calls from you. The second one is that our Southeast governors, rather Southern governors, they met and they issued their press release. I have analyzed their press release. Even day before yesterday, we also analyzed the video of Professor Yusuf, who said they should have, they should have taken consent from Fulanis before they met. For benefit of those who haven't watched him, let me play him again. Professor Yusuf.
Gandhi said, whatever you do for me without me is against me. Ask all those, 13, 15 governors that met in that hotel. Was there any of the Fulani leaders consulted? Any of the Fulani leaders consulted? So they're there making laws for people that they have not consulted. This is a problem with government. Disconnected, out of touch with realities of people. You must sit down and talk with people you are making laws for. None of those governors have sat down with Fulani leaders in wherever they are and tell them what we are planning to do, or what we're going to do, or what alternatives are there. And then they are sitting down there and making laws.
All right.
Be careful.
You see, they are sitting down there making laws. And he concludes by saying, be careful. Then I ask innocently, if they are not careful, what will happen? Can these comments be qualified as a threat to a people? Now, again, I must commend the governors. I said it the first day, I said, I must commend the governors for finally listening to what we have been saying. However, it is time that the governors must walk the talk. They must walk the talk. They must. So it's no longer time to just keep quiet. It's no longer time to just issue press release. They must walk the talk. And how can they do that? Let me bring our good friend, Femi Falana, SAN, to give us some insight on what we can do.
They need to mobilize their northern colleagues. They need to walk their talk. Because if they expect that the presidency will act on these resolutions, the governors may be wasting their precious time. And what happened today was that the Minister of Information, Alagilai Muhammad, said on behalf of the government, we are not opposed to restructuring. However, we don't want the separation of the country. Minister, was he speaking for the president, for the country, and for the federal government? And that was why the governors are asking the president to address the nation by responding to these fundamental suggestions made to advance the cause of the unity of the country, to ensure that there is security of life and property, and that the welfare of our people will be taken into cognizance in line with the provisions of the Constitution.
So, let me go back.
Governors will have to, each of the state government will have to make enabling laws to translate the decisions in the communique to legal instruments. Now, of course, there are some.
You see, just like I said before, our governors must, in this occasion now, translate these decisions that they've made to legal instruments. And how do you translate them to legal instruments? By ensuring that all the states within the southern Nigeria would have these laws to ban open grazing. Because like I said on the first day, the open grazing law or whatever you have done would virtually amount to nothing if all the southern states does not have the same law. Imagine where Ogun has a law against open grazing. Osun doesn't. Edo doesn't. Maybe Anambra has. Ebonyi doesn't. Imo doesn't. It makes nonsense of the whole thing. But there is strength in unity, because if you the moment you start having all the, you have all these things done at once, then it will be very hard for someone, trekking cow from maybe entering Kwara, coming into Oyo, exiting Oyo, finding themselves in Edo State or Delta State, heading down to Anambra, or the other way around, entering Benue, heading into Enugu, exiting Enugu, entering into Anambra or into Imo State or Abia State, or what's it called, the other one on the north, Ebonyi State. It's virtually impossible. But if one state has it, the other doesn't. I mean, there might be routes that they can use to maneuver themselves and find themselves where the destruction would eventually continue. So let's listen to Falana.
We have the animal diseases law in every state that guides the movement of cattle, trade animals. We have in place the regional, some of the states have enacted the regional security networks. Each of the states in the southwest, for instance, Ekitito, or your state, has enacted the Amotekun core law. In Lagos, you have the neighborhood watch law, and I know now that the northeast zone has always had the GTF, the Joint Task Force, and of course, you have the ISBA, police in the northwest. In the southeast, the governors have just agreed now to set up a regional network called Abube Agu. In the south and the north central, you have vigilante groups, taking care of the security of the people and assisting the police where it is possible. So, in a way, you already have state police in place in each of the regions, in each of the states. What I think is now being demanded is the formalization and a decentralization of the Nigerian police force in order to meet the security challenge the nation is facing.
So, I mean, it comes to a point where if you look at some of the recommendations made by the southern governors, I'm not sure in my very little years that I spent that I've not heard or seen most of these recommendations or resolutions before. The question is, there isn't any of this item that is new, except for the fact that they're asking the president to address the nation. That is one thing that they think is urgent and to be done. But the question is that you said you want the governor to walk the talk. So one of the issues that you have raised is that they need to bring up enabling law. Where does the National Assembly come into play here? The State Assembly might have their own role to play, but in the real picture of it, Mr. Falana, is that does this recommendation, in your own view, solve our insecurity problem, especially in the southern region of the country?
Well, I think for the entire country, these resolutions will be very useful. They have come at the right time. I mean, not too late in the day. I mean, the governors have now formally joined the campaign for restructuring, as opposed to, the demand for balkanization of the country, which in the first place was brought about by the insistence of the presidency.
What he's trying to say here is very simple. He mentioned the Bubago. He called on the South governors to come up with a regional approach. The Yorubas already have their Amotekun. I know some of us from the Southeast will be a little bit indifferent in the following comments. That the mention of Ebubag, but again, we cannot go, we cannot go extrajudicial, or rather against the law in the things we do. Now, we have constituted authority in as much as we've said, yes, what they've done is good so far as Southern governors. I want to agree with Falana here that the best approach now will be, since the regional security approach appears to be the best way the Southerners want to approach this, in the case of Amotekun, in the case of Ebubagu, and in the case of whatever the Southerners are going to come up with. And whatever they come up with, that it should be, on that peripheral, that it's emboldened and reinforced by the requisite laws within the state that will back their activities, that will back up their activities. And the moment that is done, one thing that he said that is that is also interesting is that, and I think in Dele Momodu's interview with Olisa Abokova today, which is very, very also interesting for many of you who didn't watch that. That was 4 o'clock today. We streamed it live today, so you can go back after this presentation and watch that Dele Momodu interview live with Olisa Abokova. Falana, however, argues, like Olisa Abokova did, in the case that the governors have now joined the call for a new arrangement. I think this cliche of restructuring has become, or rather, overflogged and overused. So what can we say? A new arrangement that probably will be subjected to referendum, where people will be asked, how do you want to be governed? In itself, the union itself, the reason why everyone is kicking is because it isn't working. So when you have a working union, people don't rarely kick in this way, because it appears there are certain people who are above the law, and we have seen them clearly, as we have read from some of the incidences that happen in the Southwest, where certain people are arrested for crimes they committed, and you will hear that certain calls were made and they were asked to go. I mean, you could not run a federation that way, hence everyone's saying then to your tent, or Israel. However, if people can sit down on a round table to basically renegotiate and subject that, again, the will of the people, that's the whole point. You and I can have our divergent views. You and I could agree. Some will say, some school of thought, even watching now, can say it could be, some could say the solution is Southern Nigeria. Some could say no, solution is Old Eastern. Some will say solution is a Dudua nation. Some can, whatever the nomenclature that is, some even call them, like the Lower Niger Congress people say it is the Lower Niger Republic, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. What matters is that the people would have the right to decide for their future. And that's where I have issues when the elite now begin to say, this is what is going to happen. Or when the radical left begins to say, it's this or nothing. Well, there must be a middle ground. The middle ground here is that the right to decide on how we want to. And we must be willing and ready that whatever the decision is, when we have been asked, how do we want to progress? And we say we want this. If that decision is that we do not want anymore, it don't do us, it don't tire us, so then so be it. If the decision, which is that referendum, comes and it means, okay, let us give it another shot, however, under the following conditions. And these conditions are 1, 2, free, then so be it. If it comes that the people are saying, no, 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 we have to revert back to 1963, where the regions were left on their own, that we saw people like Sir Ahmadu Bello, the Sardauna of Sokoto, and the North had their, pyramids from granites, and the West was able to build the first television station with cocoa money. And the East was able to do marvelously well, becoming one of the fastest economy, not only in Africa, but in the world, one of the fastest growing economy. And a people that plowed back over 40% of whatever of their budget into education, because they understood, the essence of education. And many people would describe Emma Abara as a man who appeared to have been in a hurry. And because I've mentioned him, and I cannot like him enough, because listen, people, these are the type of men we would want to be in charge. Men who understood what, it means to govern, men who would always govern as humans. And because I've said it, let me, play his best, how people perceived him before I progress further. I just, pardon.
Ikenga. Oh, Ikenga. You shall yet see your sunrise, Ikenga. You shall yet see your sunrise.
My first encounter with him was in December 1940.
He was a gifted man all round. There is no area you talk about or you walk about that you will not show you how it is done.
He was able to use cocoa, palm oil, and a few other products locally to run one of the fastest growing economies in the world.
That he was nicknamed MI Power.
Later, Dr. Michael Babara.
Akbara took over at a time when there were no institutions.
Even though the eastern region was the poorest of the regions at the time.
He was a pioneer. He had to lay the foundation for this.
Whatever he sets his hands on, which is good, he will see to it that it is done properly.
So you've obviously listened to that, and you understand what I mean. That whenever I refer to him, it gives me this nostalgia. I mean, I wasn't around when he governed, but history has taught me that these are the type of men that we require when it matters most. Having said that, I would also want to tell us, not many of us would agree with this, but hey, I mean, one of the things I do here is to take those topics that, no matter how difficult and how uncomfortable they are, that these narratives must be heard. Today, I read something that's also, in line with some of the comment I'm reading here now, people saying that we can divide the nation into North and South. And someone made a very striking argument today, on one of the WhatsApp forums. And he put something into perspective. He said, if we kick against the current status quo of being an artificial creation, that we must also remember that even the southern Nigeria, if we go back, what they call the Southern Protectorate, that it was also an amalgamation. It was also an artificial creation. You had the Southern Protectorate, then you had the Southern Protectorate of Nigeria, then you had what they call the Lagos Colony. At some point, the Lagos Colony was merged with Southern Protectorate. Okay? So the same way that the Southern Protectorate that became a whole was eventually merged with Northern Protectorate. So you see that. However you want to look at it, one thing I think that is paramount, and one thing I think that we, when people demand for referendum, even when some school of thoughts argue that referendum is not in the Constitution, of course we know that. But bear in mind that Constitution is the making of the people. So if you aggregate the people who are now demanding that, it's not that we hate each other. Yes, crime do occur from all angles. Some are attributed to some certain people. That is all known. However, the decision to stay or to part ways must be within the people. The people must have that decision. Yes, you can have your representative, the elite. They can represent you in that, because there is no way you can bring close to 2 million people maybe together to come and have a conversation. That's not going to happen. I mean, that is real. Whatever the conversation of the people, that is the indigenous people, whatever conversation they have had, whatever they have discussed on your behalf, what the people are demanding is, in order to sign it off, they must vet it. After vetting it, they must agree on it via their vote. Again, when people, if you're watching me, you do not still understand what referendum means. Referendum is actually voting. Mazi, do you want to be part of this, or you want to be part of this? Yes or no? It could be 3 answers: yes, no, or this. Then I have the option to say, no, I don't want. Yes, I want. Or, I want this, but I don't want this particular one. These are options. But sadly, what we do not have today is that no one has asked us what we want. As later Moshood Abiola would always say, we cannot, or rather you cannot shave a man's head in his absence. If you haven't gone to the barbers, you don't have razor, you don't have clippers, and suddenly your hair got shaved, you wouldn't like it. And I like an analogy that Olisa Abakova gave on the platform, and he said this in the video I referenced before, that it's like in marriage. What makes a marriage in Olisa Abakova's argument is not about the certificate, but about the agreement to stay together. That if his father comes to him and say, Olisa, I found this wife for you. You must marry this wife. You must stay together with this wife. The tendency that marriage is going to crumble is there because he is going into that marriage grudgingly. He is not satisfied ab initio. Therefore, that marriage is likely to hit the rock. But if he is going into that marriage with his eyes wide open, whatever he sees, he won't even tell anybody. You know why? Because he goes tell somebody, the person he tells will say, okay, no be your decision. Which leads me to one of my favorite songs, Lucky Dube. I don't know, many of you know this song. I remember when I went to Mama and say, Mama, I'm getting married. Like we hear her voice from the other side of the telephone. And she asked me a question that I found the answer. She said, son, did you take her to know her? I said, Mama, she's the best. But it hurts me so to go back to mamas and say, Mama, I'm getting divorced. Oh, I'm getting divorced. It's not easy. I think that song is called It's Not Easy. I can't play it because if I play it, I do not have rights to, and it will be flagged. But this one, with this with this my Pan1 voice, wallahi, even if Lucky Dube sees the voice, if he comes back alive, hears his song, he won't even know I was singing his song. So I hope I haven't damaged the song. If I have a Lucky Dube lover here, but I think I used it to illustrate something. I think you can understand what I mean. And my intention is not to contest for any Lucky Dube song anywhere here. So if I have my friends from South Africa, please pardon me. Not bad. Thank you very much, David Taibawai. He says, not a bad voice. I need to rehearse. Actually, before stress, started removing the hairs, I used to be a very good choir master. My tenor, my tenor no be here. I know that time if I do my tenor, if I do my tenor like this, all the ladies, everybody go there, oh, who is that? Come on. I can be silly sometimes, but that's one. So people, we must continue. We must continue. Before we continue, make we sell markets before now. Make we sell markets. So welcome back, everyone. What I was saying at the end of the day, the conclusion of my talk is that we must, whatever we do, we must demand that we subject it to the will of the people, that the people, via a referendum, will decide what they want. It's not too much to ask, because at the end of the day, in order for us to, because you and I, because we have data, because we have internet, we might be arguing here, whereas, others might have a different view. Others might have different views. So it's good to know what we are dealing with. So having said that, I would bring in here. Having said that, it will bring me to the last leg of this conversation this evening, which is the rockets and beam that was fired in Egypt. Sorry, not Egypt, Israel. If one is not very careful, you can, one sees only the reaction. Again, here, I'm not blaming anyone, I'm not taking side, okay? I'm not taking side. But what I want to do is to present something that, until I saw this from the Israeli IDF website or channel this afternoon, I didn't know. Because suddenly what we saw was that the doom, I think 3 days ago, everyone saw the Israeli interception of missiles that was fired to them. But here we have a live video, because that was live, that was Facebook Live. I got this from Facebook Live. So that was a live video of an Israeli soldier showing what led to the current escalation that you're seeing. What the damage that the rockets did. Let's quickly watch, and it might help us to understand the escalation we have in the Middle East.
Shalom everyone, Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan here, and we are live on the IDF's official Facebook page. I am in Ashkelon, and what you can see behind me, the destruction that you can see behind me, is a result of a rocket that was fired by Hamas from Gaza.
Something is not right. The video, I can hear the audio, but it's not playing. Or is it playing on your end? It's not the video. I can hear the audio, but let me try again.
One of more than 300 rockets that were fired over the last 24 hours.
Yes.
And have a look at the magnitude of the destruction here. This used to be a private home. You can see what happened when the rocket impacted in the center of the house. The level of destruction around. Unfortunately, very sadly, there was an Israeli civilian living here, and she had a personal assistant. She was an elderly lady, and that elderly lady was killed by this rocket attack, this brutal, horrible rocket attack that was done from the Gaza Strip towards Israel. Now look at this and tell me, why does Israel need to defend itself, and why does the IDF need to do what it does in Gaza? Have a look at the level of destruction around me. This is a regular private home. You can see the court, the car, which is quite a few meters away, was also damaged. And if I zoom out and show you other houses in the area, you'll be able to see that even as far as 20 meters away, the house over there, take a look at the roof, there's damage. The car here was totaled, and the entire surroundings, all of the surroundings were damaged by this rocket that hit in the area and unfortunately led to Israeli casualties. I want to give you a short recap of the situation as it is as we speak. We're about 24 hours into fighting already. This fighting started with Hamas firing rockets at Jerusalem, at our capital, forcing hundreds of thousands of Israeli civilians to run for shelter. They fired 6 rockets then, and since then they have been firing rockets at southern Israel almost relentlessly. This very sad and unfortunate event is not the only one. There are other places in Ashkelon, in southern Israel, as well as in Ashdod, that were hit by rockets, and similar level of destruction was caused, as you can unfortunately see behind me. The IDF said from the early beginnings that this is an aggression, this is an attack, an aggression on Israel that we will not tolerate, and it will not go unanswered. And unlike the terrorists in Gaza, what we're doing when we respond is that we attack the terrorists. We attack Hamas, we attack the Islamic Jihad, and we attack anybody else who is holding arms and trying to fire rockets or missiles or to attack Israel.
Well, I think it's enough now. The reason why I wanted to play this video on my program is, like I said, is not to take a side, because I know many of us, because we are pseudo-Christians, it's always easy to, without probably looking at the other side. And I know many friends as well who think maybe because Palestine appears to be on a weaker foot, therefore it is always right to defend irrespective of what led to. I have seen a lot of, if you turn on your TV now, what you will see is the bombardment, targeted, which I agree with him. You see targeted bombardment that is going on. But it hurts to see that in all this madness, we have aged people, children, women, the vulnerable, all are being affected. It hurts. The same way we have in some areas within Nigeria as well, that those we have left in the villages are the mercies of certain people. Because when they invade, there are no longer enough men to withstand certain invasions. And we do not have enough security to also, maybe withhold some of these attacks. So, I don't know. Sometimes I just feel that I wish the world could become more a more peaceful place to live in. I wish these radicalized individuals can actually, sometimes just have a bottle of milk. Calm down, people. I wish the world could probably take the approach of Norway, where violence should be avoided at all costs. And see, Norway, they are very, very progressive. Yet they do not engage in such, kind of words. Again, should I say I pray for peace? No, because people will be praying for peace. But the question is, whoever is, my dad always say, onye choli bogo, bon lumaka, meaning in English, if you want to separate fight, start from finger pointing. That's where and that's how fight starts. Sadly, that Hamas somehow started this current escalation, and I pray that this escalation be de-escalated, that the vulnerable, the women, the children, and even the men, that this madness stops. On that note, before I take your call, I would, I would give us. If you remember, there was a time in Equilabia, I think about 2 months ago, that we all woke up one day and heard that, quote unquote, that UGM, ungun men, attacked a police, no, not a police, a prison vehicle conveying some inmates in Equilabia, Aguata, that's next to my community, Ezinifiten. And people died, and one of the occupants of that vehicle, a bus, was a woman. And that woman, today, I think she was buried yesterday. And today, BBC Igbo visited them. And I had this following clip to share with us. As I share this clip, I want us to reflect on her death. Watch.
Na-eme maka na ka anyị gwara unu na ebe anyị nọ bụ na Obuofia Ọkụnanọ nke dị n'Enugu steeti. Ihe unu na-ahụ ugbu a bụ ihe onyonyo eji wee nye ya bụ nwata nwa agbọghọbịa bụ Miracle Chinonso nwa obodo. Ị na-anya kịta ị ga-ahụ na ya bụ nwatakịrị gbara naanị afọ 22. Ya bụ ọgụ na abụọ. Ọ dị mma ka anyị gwanụ ụfọdụ ụmụnne ya okwu. Nne ndewo. Ọ dị mma ka anyị mata afa gị ọzọ. Ọ dị mma. Ọ gị tọrọ Miracle ka Miracle tọrọ gị? Ọ mụwa tọrọ ya. Gị nwa tọrọ Miracle? Gwakene m ka esi wee mee ya bụ burial, maka mbọsị anyị bịara ikpeazụ anya mmiri juru gị anya, ka esi wee mee onyinye nwanne gị nwaanyị? Ka esi wee mee bụ na emekwere ya ọfụma. Ndị uwe ojii abịakwara ebe? Ha bịara, ha gbakwara mbọ. Ọ dị mma. Kedụzi ekpere gị n'isi nwanne gị nwaanyị ugbu a? Ekpere m n'isi nwanne m nwaanyị ka Chineke nye ebe ọ ga-ezu ike, ka Chineke mee ya ka ọ nọrọ ọfụma. O nwere ihe ị ga na-eji echeta nwanne gị nwaanyị? Nwee ihe ị ga na-eme ị ga-eji wee na-echeta ya dịka oge ọ dị ndụ? Ihe m ga na-echeta ka o si enye maka ihe ọ na-adị enye mkpọ ọgbajughe ndọrọ mkpọ ha anya ọ na-abịa ọ na-asakwa. So kedu ekpere gị n'isi a kịta enyegoro ya? Ekpere m n'isi a ka Chineke nọnyere ya. Ndewo. Onye unu nụrụ onye a ugbu a bụ nwanne Miracle nwa obodo. Nekwa nwanne ya ọzọ anyị na ya nọkwa ebe a. Nke a bụ nke a na-akpọ last born, nke ikpeazụ, ọdụdụ nwa. Gwa anyị afa gị.
Afa m bụ Blessing Obodo.
Nne, kwuo m ka obi dị gị otu anụnwa unu adịghị ebezi akwa kịta maka ihe mere nwanne gị nwaanyị.
Obi adịtụgo m obere mma kịta maka ihe mere nwanne m nwaanyị. Mana ihe obi ji dị m mma kịta bụ na ama m na Jehova alatago mkpụrụ obi ya ka o zuo ike, ana amakwa m na ọ nago n'udo.
Ọ dị mma. Kedu ihe ị ga na-eme ị ga-eji cheta nwanne gị nwaanyị Miracle, maka ịma na onye na-agba mbọ ka ọ bụ?
Ihe m ga na-eme, m ga na-arụsi ọrụ ike dịka otu ọ si arụ ọrụ bifo wee hafụ anyị.
On that note, I would take it that I wouldn't take much of that again. I would only allow you to make your comment if you so wish before we round up. So you can see, obviously, that you know, she's from Enugu, Nwobodo is her last name, and I say may her soul rest in peace. You know, having said that, I mean, her death was a needless one, and we can't shy away from that. Her death was a needless death. Hopefully, may we not experience such again. May her soul rest in peace. Amen. So, people, that's it from me. You know, anyone who wants to make their own contribution can, you know, do, and you can ring this in the media studio. You can, you know, want to make your own contribution. If you want to join me in the studio, if you have your camera on and the place you are is well lit up, I can share the link. Okay, sorry, Olarewaju Abraham, sorry about that. Translation. Translation is that she was a young lady of 22 years old. She was a police officer, and she met her untimely death as she was escorting some inmates in Ekulobe in Anambra State. Ekulobe is the headquarters of Agwata local government area of Anambra State. And she had her parents there that you saw sitting, and she was buried this week. So BBC went there, and they touched me. One is that considering her age, and that she was aching like every other person to survive in a very confused society. And do I believe in any shape or form her death? Like I said before, her death was really needless. You know, the van or the bus that she was in was attacked, and obviously she lost her life. Once more, I say, may her soul rest in peace. So Victor Eloka says, Mazi, Nigerian police killed her. If she were professional, unbiased. I beg to disagree, my brother. Again, I repeat, her death was needless. We have, why would Nigerian police kill her? Is it a crime to be within the police? Yes. And I think it's a fallacy to begin to say that every police officer is evil. No, honestly, they are not. Do we have evil policemen? Of course, yes, we do. But does that make every single person evil? No, that doesn't. Okay, that doesn't. You can argue, but you know, that's what I do believe. I'm a humanist. You know, I'm a humanist. I couldn't support such nonsense, honestly. Anyway, I don't want to be dragged into some conversations, but it's fine. On that note, I will thank you all for watching. Since everyone appeared to agree in the okay, let me take some comments and I'll call it a day. Oh, please don't ask me to these people on Facebook now. For you want me to sing again? No. When I never pay for the one where I sang, you want me to sing again? Yes, of course. From the video, you can see that Hamas started the commotion. Elo Chukwuobi actually knows the song I sang, and Elo Chukwu completed the song. And let me try again with my normal, Alaji Musa will say with my normal travel voice. Do re mi fa sol la ti. Is it bass? Do. Okay, let me try again. This is the part that Elo Chukwu shared is what I'm going to sing. It's not easy. And Mama said to me, it's not easy to understand this song, but I hope you will make it. You will be happy one day. Again, now, Elo Chukwu, I think the last part was you'll be happy one day, not again. But see, I've tried now, so Elo Chukwu, thank you for that. I think Onyenimo, if I catch you there, wallahi, if I catch you there, I would give you one blow, 7 apples. How can you call my fantastic voice? You know this voice. That time, you know, if it was when road was in the Appian way. When you oh, someone is calling the line. Okay, let's take this call. Hello, you are speaking to Mazes Zoke live on Njenje Media TV. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you are speaking to Mazes Zoke live on Njenje Media TV.
Okay, good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Who am I speaking to?
Okay, you are speaking to Mazi Ositadima.
Okay, Mazi Ositadima, where are you calling me from?
Okay, I'm calling from Ukraine.
Okay. Go ahead. But you should have called me on WhatsApp because it will be cheaper for you because I can see you're calling me with a Nigerian number. Or is it call routing or what?
Okay. Okay.
You can call me on WhatsApp. It's cheaper for you. I don't want people. Don't call me. Let me switch my phone off. Don't call me on normal phone, please, because it means when you call me on normal phone, the country is already seriously badly affected. So when you go ahead and call me on this thing, you spend more money. So I don't want you to be out of pocket. So Murphy Chuk says it's from South Korea. I'm waiting. So let me give you 5 minutes more. Oh no, 2 minutes more. Then we'll take some comments. You're okay. So who am I? Eloka. Eloka, yes, Eloka is. I think Eloka. When I look at your face look like people that like Lucky Dube, and you look like someone who also love fella, and that will make you a very radical person. Edith Peters said, "Man, can he sing?" Yes, of course I can sing. Okay, I can see the conversation with Abraham here, you know, about the ungun men. So no matter what you think, I think the death, again, I cannot say that enough, was needless. 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 If you feel sad, amount of sadness, flag waving. I think you're missing the point. No one ever liked the fact that people lost their lives. No one liked the fact. Okay, some of you that want to join via the link, I've just shared the link on the chat, so you can click on the link. You can see the link there. Click on the link and come in. But please make sure that you are in an environment that is well lit up. Make sure that you're in an environment that is well lit up. And you must turn on your camera. If you do not turn on your camera, then I cannot bring you in because I'm not covering my camera. You're looking at my face. You're looking at my face. I want to look into your face as well. Okay? So, please, people, can we tone down the argument? The argument is taking us nowhere. The argument is taking us nowhere. Okay, so I'm still waiting to have the first caller was told to call back. So let's see what's going to happen. I think Emeka, okay, you're right. We should remove this title named forces because everything in place is bearing force. I agree. I think that is on independence. That is one of the things the founding fathers probably failed to do. When you have the police force, you have everything is force. I think I have a beautiful lady joining me here. Okay, have a beautiful lady joining me here. Is she going to sing for me as well? Are you going to sing for me that song? Hello, who am I speaking to?
My name is Holloway.
Sorry, your name is what?
My name is Holloway. I'm here from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining me. How are you today?
I'm good.
It's a pleasure having you. So what's your contribution?
I enjoy watching you. My family enjoy watching you. It's a pleasure just to listen to your voice.
Thank you. Even in my cracky Nkwobi voice.
I watched it. I'm coming in July. So I'm always listening to you. You're like my guy. You're my guy. So anything you say, I just pay so much attention to you. I want to say you're doing a great job. Trying to sell Nigeria to the world. And,
No. Correction. I'm selling the Igbo nation to the world. That's why I put so much energy to, bring out what's happening to the Igbo nation. So that's what I do. So it's good. I hope when you want to come to Nigeria, I'll do this advert for this company because I like what they do. So they do COVID tests, so, and I tell people, I've used them. So in case anyone who wants to come to Nigeria and want to use them is kind, but watch out for the video I'm going to do. I will insert them there. It's going to come out. Thank you. So let me bring other people in. So we'll make this conversation. So like I said, please make sure the whole world that you sit aright.
Hello, can you see me okay?
I can see you now, but your glasses, it's night and you're putting on glasses. What kilo happened?
Well, no, I wear glasses, so I mean, that can be helped. Let me see if I can move to a better lit. Is that better?
Yes, fine. It's fine. Okay. That one man went to the moon. We have Jaguar's place. Jaguar, how are you?
I'm all right. Well, good evening, sir.
Okay, good evening. So, guys, we have a lady, and we have a beautiful lady joining us from America. So I would say, one man went to the room, behave yourself.
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding.
Why am I being singled out?
Because as I read your comment, I see the kind wahala where they give for comments. So that's why
No.
it's singled out. Okay. So people, what's your contribution?
Well, I have a question more than a contribution, which I think is probably best suited to answer.
Okay.
So it's to do with the Biafra narrative. And I want to posit that the Biafra narrative is more an Igbo project than anything else. What says you?
If, I think it might be better answered by those within the project. Now, if you want to ask me, my project is the Igbo Nation project.
Okay, all right, brilliant.
Okay, so my project is the Igbo Nation project. However, now, without mincing words, I would say when you talk about the larger picture of Biafra, the Igbos automatically are, by sheer population, appears to be the largest within the entity, quote unquote, known as Biafra. You understand? It's just like if you go to, I believe you're in England, and if you take
what's led you to that belief?
Well, I can see your lighting, so that's I might be wrong, but it doesn't matter.
No, no, you are laughing.
That's a very good thing. Thank you very much. But what I was saying is, if you take England or United Kingdom, for instance, England has the larger population. Now, if you take anything about, because that's why people do mistake United Kingdom with England, or people say, I live in London, whereas the person saying I live in London lives in Manchester, or the person saying I live in London lives in Newcastle. But when it comes to Nigeria, instead of telling you he lives in Newcastle, that might confuse anyone who doesn't know. It might appear that the English within the English in England are more on number. That doesn't mean that they own the United Kingdom project. I hope that answers the question.
Well, it doesn't, but I'm not going to push you.
Well, I mean, I think that's the best I can give you. So, Jaguar.
Yeah,
Jaguar, how are you?
I'm good. Good evening, sir.
What's your real name? Because this Jaguar, whether you Njenje or moderating.
Anyway, my real name is Chinwendo.
You should have used your real name now. Why you put Jaguar? They call a man Jaguar. If I call you Agona, it's not good.
Anyway, you're right, but that is my business name.
Okay, Jaguar.
Yeah, Jaguar Palace.
Okay.
Mazi was okay. I'm very happy.
Mazi, okay. I'm not always okay. It's okay.
Okay, thank you for your correction.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for the good job for what you have been doing in Igbo land and Biafran land and everywhere, because the whole world knows about you and your good job. So last time I was watching a program with you and is it Joey Bouquet?
Yes.
Joey Bouquet. So I noticed something. But what I just want to ask is that because I saw when he was accusing you of making a statement, you know, that is like, I'm sorry, because as an elder and someone who has such personality for people to listen or learn from.
Hold on, we'll speak to you shortly. Hold on. Go ahead.
So to make such statements in a camera and the world is listening, I think it's wrong. It's wrong because even if there is something, sometimes there is issues that should be confidential. But I like how you control yourself because you didn't put much interest to argue or to defend yourself over that matter.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
very
you very
happy.
much.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Nevertheless, keep on with your good job.
Now, I need to make the following clarification because when I read comments, it appears some of us are not paying enough attention. That was a BBC interview. BBC invited me to that program to have a conversation on the governor's, southern governors. Now, another lady was invited as well, who joined us from Imo State, Owerri, and Joe joined us from Lagos. And the conversation progressed to the point of talking about the unknown gunman. And, you know, the reporter asked, who are the unknown gunmen? Honestly, unless you want me to be, I'm not a soothsayer, I'm not a Libya, neither am I a native doctor. I don't know. That's the answer. So, but we have people saddled with the responsibility of telling us who they are. And that's what I wanted my brother, my good brother Joey to know. And one thing again I want to drop was Asindi is, you see, no man is bad or, you know, we have this proverb to say that no, there are things you can remove from the meat and you can still eat the meat. Joey Boko, in that conversation, in as much as the things he was saying was all, you know, in his imagination. He said he knew me. I actually was meant to have a program with him yesterday, 8 o'clock. No, sorry, 6 o'clock. Why that didn't happen is a story for another day. So, but online, when he says he knows me, I would say Jacob, he doesn't. Not even one bit. But the bottom line, and what I want to tell every one of us is, we mustn't at all times be militant in our approaches. When we become militant, we lose content. Because if you talk to me, I reply you in a gentle manner. Our conversation might end. You might go home, start reflecting on our conversation. It could influence you, change your mind on the things you believed before. Or you can also influence me. Oh, sorry, you can also influence me. But when you start from a very myopic and a militant tone, and a wise one will be laughing because what you're saying makes absolute no sense. I'm reading comments. People are saying, I think one man went to the mall. People are saying, why did he join the call? Some are say he's Fulani, some are say he's. Listen, people, we must learn the act of conversation. The act of conversation is the ability to converse even with your enemy and look him or her eye to eye and say certain things that may not be uncomfortable, but in a language that person can still, at the end of the day, shake your hands, because we don't need to be burning bridges. And when I look at my people, our people, my brothers, my sisters, when I read comments online, it hurts me sometimes because what we do is we burn bridges that many of us spend time behind the camera that nobody sees, putting a lot of effort to build these bridges. But again, those who do not know, as the elders would always say, he who does not know when a dead body is buried, when he wants to exhume, he starts from the leg because he doesn't know, he wasn't aware when that was done. So once more, I thank you very much. So I think there were people who called before. My sister, now I give you time, it's your turn, because you know, we men, we can talk all day. Let's give you time to talk. Let me call somebody back. Yeah, go ahead, my sister. So what's your contribution more, apart from that you appreciate what we do?
You know, well, you know, I think I'm gonna I'm gonna bring up an old topic that we discussed like 2 weeks ago. I think the governor of Ekiti State was saying that Nigerians should not go to Canada and they should stay in Nigeria. So I don't believe, I think it's wrong. Because I left Nigeria 25 years ago, and I left Nigeria. I didn't have a high school cert, and I came to America.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, hold on.
I came to America.
Go ahead, my sister.
And and now I have my PhD.
Yes.
I'm a therapist.
Okay.
And I'm doing very well.
From Los Angeles, California.
I believe
yes,
that people should follow their dreams and try to live a good life.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I must commend you for, you left the shores of Nigeria, and that's what many people do say. You never know how intelligent you could be until you leave Nigeria, and this is. I'm also a witness. I never knew people could make first class until I left Nigeria. Do you understand? So Nigeria has a way of shrinking you, both upstairs and that you don't even progress anymore. But your testimony is it's one of those things that must be told. That if you have the opportunity, grab it. If you have the opportunity, grab it. Here you are. Not only that you left without anything, but at least I believe you now have a family. You have made something out of yourself.
Yes.
If I may ask you again, where is it that you come from? Remind me.
Yes, I'm from Bayelsa. I'm from Bayelsa State. I'm from
Bayelsa State.
I'm from Nembe.
Nembe. That's good. Okay. Yes. But one thing I would say that the government in Bayelsa, because I travel everywhere, I've been to Bayelsa, but I do not, but I think because of you, I might start reporting on Bayelsa. They know they try. The government for Bayelsa know they try. Wallahi, they know they try. They get money, but I tell you, they know they try. Let me take a caller. Yeah, hello.
Yes, okay.
Yes, good evening. You're speaking to Mazezoke live. Who am I on to? Obiano, the governor of Anambra State.
Count me out.
If you are lucky, because if you are to be the governor of Anambra State, I ask you questions that will make you sell your telephone.
No, count me out. Not N, but L.
Okay, Obiano. Okay. So go ahead with your contribution.
How would I enroll in your program?
What do you mean? You are part of the program already. So what do you mean? How do you want to?
Yes, at times I've been calling to be,
you are live. The whole world is listening to you. You are not live on my program.
Okay. All right. Let me come to the main point where I'm calling.
Okay.
While I was watching what you were saying, a guy who answers one man, whatever, one Yoruba guy, I don't know.
But he's here. He's listening to you and he's laughing.
He's very, very important to Igbos. So watch out during his contribution. Anything Igbos, he never give credit to any Igbo project.
Okay, stay on the line. Now, one man went to the moon, I be the moon, I be the sun.
Well, you can see it surely is went to the moon.
Okay. No, hold on. I'm asking him this question directly. One man went to the moon.
Yes.
Is the moon a planet?
Is not the more, as you can see. You've just said now you have a first class, so surely.
No. I'm just.
I know you're just teasing.
Yeah.
Just to address what your guy just said.
Exactly. I want you to address the point because
what some of the people are saying in the comments as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I run a similar platform to yours. You may or may not be aware, but perhaps not in quite the serene tones that you used to run your platform, because I prefer a more frontal approach, So that frontal approach seems to jar the senses of some people who seem to have like a delicate sensibilities. So that is what you're seeing playing out. I'd like you to come and join us one of these days, and then you're just to get a different flavor of what you are doing. So yeah.
Yeah, but I do appreciate that. I think I saw one time you made a comment and I sent you my email. So anytime, you see, listen, people, I have bigger players. I have people that when I reach out to them, they oblige and they come. Therefore, whenever anybody asks me to come to their platform, I do oblige them. I mean, it's a free roll.
I mean, I will invite you, but I'm not sure if you are. But you would have to be a bit thick-skinned because. It's very fast, it's very punchy, no quarters given, so, and, no delicate sensibilities are given space, so it's one of those.
So, please, if you're eating, can you stop? And, it's not right. And when you join us, can you show this platform some form of respect and dress appropriately? Again, I come back to your question. Do you hate Igbos? Let me put it this way.
Well, this is the thing. Even if I did hate Igbos, I would say I don't. But I don't is really the honest answer to that.
So, but why either from the comments I haven't met you. I don't know you. But from the comment I read now, it appears there is a lot of controversies surrounding.
Okay, shall I tell you what that is predicated upon? Just quickly, because I have to leave us to prepare for my session. So that is predicated. I run a daily podcast similar to what you are doing, but in a different format. And of course, if you run a political format based on Nigeria, the IPOB narrative is at the forefront because that is the recurring news within the space. So we discussed that a lot. So now I don't really, and I discuss the minutiae of it rather than just this catch-all situation. So of course, I laugh at this narrative of Buhari being derailed from Sudan because I find that utterly ridiculous. So I laugh at that. And then I laugh at the idea of some Igbo person coming on my platform to tell me that it's a black Jew. Utterly ridiculous. So I laugh at that. But then, of course, I agree with the Biafra narrative, but I narrow that Biafra narrative to an Igbo narrative because a lot of South people that come on my platform say that they have not been consulted to be part of any greater Biafra struggle. So I laugh at that. So that is really what is predicated upon. All these people at Sudani, all these silicon mask and all these bouncing up and down and all this Kupla language. So I laugh at that. So that seems to jar the senses somewhat.
Okay, thank you very much. I think now I'm getting a picture of what is happening here. So the caller on the line, you've listened to what he explained. So do you have any question for him before he leaves?
Yes. One man or whatever you call yourself, you're a liar.
Hold on, please. See, that's what I said before. We can always have conversation without being overly emotional. He just explained something to you. I think it's unfair to say he's a liar, but can you counter his argument? It appears you know him or you've been following him. Can you counter his argument from what he said?
I've been watching his program.
Okay.
He has two other people in that group.
Okay.
Who are his henchmen. Those are the Otimbu. Let me use this thing. Those are his Otimbu. When he says something that is negative about Igbos, those two people will laugh. I've forgotten one. He said it's from Buhari or Socio-political. Okay.
Can you give example? Because now he has given two examples. When you talk about Buhari's death, he said he laughed. Of course, I laughed. On several times I've said that I don't even want to discuss it. I don't want to bring myself to that level of discussion. And that we have also Daniel Debris. Of course, many people know that it's something I cannot put myself to discuss it because I found it ridiculous. But again, it's a free world. You can hold any view you want.
He makes mockery of Igbos being a part of the Jewish tribe. He makes mockery of it.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask you. Stay there. Do you believe that you are part of Jew?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you do believe. Okay. Hold on. Okay, you believe you're a Jew. Now, in creation, he says that the humanity came from Africa. If the human race emanated from Africa, so who should be who? Shouldn't the Jews be Igbos rather than Igbos being Jews?
Yes. The Igbos are part of the Jewish tribe.
No. Maybe you didn't get my question. No, hold on.
Let me turn it around. The Jews are a part of.
Can I interject?
I can give you an example.
Hold on, let him finish. Okay.
Are you still there?
We are there. We are listening to you.
Okay. I'll give you a couple of words. In the Jews, their first born a girl is called Ada. In Igbo, it is the same Ada. Then the next point is broom, which is Aziza. The Jews call it Aziza.
Okay. No, hold on. I think I've read a book by Professor O. Anya. I think he was a professor at, if I'm mistaken, Abia State University. He made similar submissions and similar argument. However, I can't remember if it's Professor Achilon or where. I must get back to my library to get the books again. It's been a while I read them. Who made a counter argument to such. For me, these are at the realm of intellectual, in the words of Patrick Obiagba, intellectual paraphrasing. But if you ask me what do I believe, I will tell you. If I believe in the notion of humanity and the creation, that humanity started from Africa, then it wouldn't make sense to me that I am someone outside Africa, or rather, my argument should be that the person outside Africa is from me, not the other way around. But again, thank you. Let me allow one man went to the motive. But the words, remember there are some words, even Igbos and Yoruba share in common. So who comes from who?
Okay. Let me give you before maybe next time we continue. Like Sobem, which means follow me. It's the same Jewish language. Sobem in Jewish language is the same.
You've given me a challenge.
Okay. The next one is Zam, answer me. Zam is the same in Jewish language. The same. I can give you some.
Do you know what? I'll leave this conversation here. I'll allow one member to the more to respond. I would go look for intellectuals, professors who are versed in this area. I'll bring them on here. We will have this conversation so that all of us can be enlightened. So one more to the more.
Well, I would really urge you to save the bother of doing that, because that's just an unnecessary piece of work which you might well take on for your own amusement, but it doesn't really lead anywhere. I am from Oyo Alaafin, so if we play that game, I can look for the word Oyo in the Bible. I'm sure it is spelled. There's some Oyo spelling in the Bible. I can look around the world to find a place that is spelled O-Y-O and then claim this is a loose and spurious stuff. So it's just loose and spurious. I call it voodoo science, but then of course it's voodoo science.
I'm talking about words and meaning.
It doesn't really matter. You're not Jews, so let's just forget that.
No. You see, one man went to the more. Okay, let me.
No, we have DNA, don't we? We have DNA, don't we? That might well be the root.
Well, let me play the devil's advocate here. If he insists that he is Jew, then he is Jew. You are not Jew, then you are not Jew. So what's the problem?
Yeah, but I retain the right, surely, and I'm sure you defend that right to laugh at that, because I find it laughable.
Then he can also laugh at yours. So, my brother, can you laugh at his? Can you laugh at him not being Jew?
Yes, I laugh at you.
Please, can you laugh? I want to hear the laugh.
There you go. Fair enough. Can I just leave on this? Point, because
yes, please.
The focus really of what we do is not so much so much the Igbo narrative. That's just like a side dish, because of course I have a huge Igbo following, even though. But the focus of what we do is
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the focus of what we do is to the immediate and existential threat that is the Nigerian space, and who that threat is vested upon, and who is vesting that threat. So this is the theme that we run. We ran the narrative of the Southern governors yesterday, and we tried to fight the response of the Malam Buhari and his cabal, which essentially was just to tell them to get lost. So now we're then saying that the Southern governors, by taking this stance, have put their colors to the mast. And if this guy rebuffs them, what happens next? Because if they don't then cease to secede, then of course, then their potency is permanently dulled. So this is the sort of narrative that we have. So, but the Igbo narrative, I like to call it Nzobu tribal chanting. This is really probably what irks the Igbos the most, because I mock it with those sort of words, and I call it Nzobu tribal chanting. But of course, I only do that because I know that it riles them up. So that's just my little fun. But really, the central theme is the Nigerian space. And the question we tackled yesterday, which I want your response to before I just leave now, is that to all intents and purposes, would you consider, and should the southern region of Nigeria consider itself a conquered territory?
Honestly, there are insecurities within the southern region, but I do not consider the southern region, as we speak today, as a conquered territory.
You would not?
No.
Okay, well, we spent 4 hours on that, but I'll leave you here actually so you can focus on other people. But I just wanted to, come on just to...
Hold on, before you leave, do you consider the southern Nigeria as a conquered territory?
I don't think there's an argument to say that it is not, because of course, the Fulanis have had the whip hand over the entirety of the Nigerian space for the entirety of its existence. They control all the risk. I cite the example. Let me just make this example. This is the example that makes the point, but there are countless examples that can be cited. the people of Imo State chose a popular candidate to be their governor. One of the best elections they've ever had in that space. But then, of course, Malam Buhari made the decision. You would tell me that they went through the Supreme Court, but of course, Malam Buhari decision. Malam Buhari then made the decision that the popular will of the Igbo people is not what his will is, and he removed that guy and put the guy that came number 4. So that's one. All of the, I won't say all of the resources, but the vast of the wealth of the southern region is vested in the hands of the northern region. That's two. But the killer punch really is the security structure of the country, all headed by one hegemony to the detriment of the other side of the country, which effectively tells us
now, I think if one thing I do is to stick with facts.
Okay.
In as much as I do not like the current security architecture, it would be a fallacy to also say that they are being headed by the Fulanis. Unless we will begin the same without paying attention to other ethnicities, where you lump the Hausas, the Kanuris, the Mupes, the Angas, you lump them all as one people, right? But
would you not say there's a commonality of purpose in the North?
No, you see, again, this is always where, having spent time in the North sometime, you see that when something happens, someone from Bayelsa, someone from Imo State, someone from Oyo, you hear this narrative in Yamiri, right? If you turn the table, that's the same thing we do unconsciously. I ask people, right? They say, the first prime minister is Fulani. I say, hold on. We're changing the narrative. It's as a result of our ignorance. The first prime minister, the man with the golden voice that I love to watch so much, sadly was killed in the coup, is not Fulani. He is from Bonu, is Anga. So again, if we keep quiet, this narrative will, part of our things we will have to do is to probably keep correcting, because I think it comes out of ignorance.
So
because
can I just make one last point, because I do have to leave, but if you permit, it's all very nice, because if we continue to dissect, we can almost narrow it to a village and then to even a doorstep. But Nigerians do tend to think in catch-alls. And so I was having this narrative yesterday on my platform when the person from Bayelsa or whatever was making the distinction. And I was saying that in a place like Lagos, for instance, if you're not Hausa, Fulani, or Yoruba, then they'll call you Omoyibo. Not even Igbo, Omoyibo. If you're from Bayelsa, whatever, nobody cares. You're Igbo. So that is the control.
See, that's the thing. Those are the type of narrative that we must begin to educate the people to drop, because it is not. Now, see, why is it that, I asked this question before you leave, why is it that we in the South, right, if you see any list published, you see, security chief, North. Security chief, North. These army staff, North. This, North. Suddenly, you have two Southerners. You hear, chief of naval staff, South. Chief of this, Southwest. You see, we are beating ourselves because you have made a monster out of something. Then you come to yours because
we haven't. It's presented itself as such. There's a homogeneity.
We must fight. I'm saying we must. Listen, on this platform, one thing I cannot do is to allow and keep regurgitating the false narrative. Because if you say North, then we should be just like when they talk about zoning. You said the power under PDP constitution, power should rotate between North and South. Then when we come to South, that's why it gladdens me that the South has somehow, the political leadership has woken up to the point that we can now refer Southern Governors Forum. It has never happened because of political expedience, because of we have people, especially within the Southwest, but again, that didn't see the need for that because they think when you do that, it will divide their political empire. Again, which I consider political empire you're building on sand. But there is that unity because that is the only thing that can confront the monster when you have equal force. Let me say this now before you go. You stand for Niger Delta Republic, you stand for Duduwa Republic, you stand for Biafra Republic, you stand for Igbo Nation, you stand for whatever. You are dreaming. The solution is Southern unity because none of you can do it alone. If you do it,
but has that not defeated what you just said prior? Has that not defeated what you just said now? Has that not defeated?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. No.
Let me leave with one point, please.
Reason why it hasn't defeated what I said before is very simple. Now, when they say no, you say South. But we must also, understand that you have South as an entity does not remove the fact that somebody is Yoruba, that somebody is Igbo, that somebody is Shekiri, that somebody is Igbo. It must not, because even in that Southern entity, that if push come to shove, you want an equal force match the other force, then you must think that way. In Igbo, we say, so when you get the bigger thing, you come home and you begin to share in the nitty-gritties of the smaller entities. Thank you very much, and I hope to speak to you on another date. And
all right, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. God bless.
Thank you very much. Yes.
It's okay. Let him go.
Listen, don't worry. I think I have others on the line. The truth is, I think it's something we must learn. It doesn't matter positions people take. Our ability to engage people is what we must, as a people, work on. I don't care. If you from my arguments, listen. From what I have spoken and my argument with him now, I think it would be unfair to say, because I don't know. Many of you maybe judge people from, I don't know him, but again, I can judge by what I know. So, your enemy must not automatically come into be mine. It's fine, but I don't shut people down. My brother, I would, yes. Thank you very much, Austin Obi. Let me take other callers. Thank you very much for calling. Thank you.
Njenje,
go ahead, yes.
Good evening. I greet everybody here, and I want to reply that man that just left now.
Okay.
I hope you are hearing me.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Because I live here in Israel.
Okay.
Wow.
So, now, is it coincidence that there is a place called Obugad in Anambra State?
Mm-hmm.
Is it coincidence that Igbo people circumcised in 8 days, the same we do here in Israel?
Yeah, hello.
Is it coincidence that there is a man called Aro?
Hold on.
There is a man called Eri. Is it coincidence that there is a place in Anambra State called Onitsha, and which is in the Bible but not the same spelling? Is it coincidence that there is a place, there is a word in that Old Testament called Nobi?
All in Anambra.
All in Anambra.
Anambra Israel.
You understand? Is it coincidence there is a place called Abia?
God's on stage.
In the Bible, is it coincidence there is a word mentioned as Asa?
Do you know what? Austin,
no.
Hold on. Sadly,
I never finished. Please, can you just allow me? Let me just touch some point. Sometimes some people use envy and jealousy to qualify something the right and honest truth. Let me just say something here. There is some part of Yoruba people that migrate from here, which they live around Ogun State. I live here in Israel.
You see, the comment you just made now, you see, it has started another war. People are now saying
No,
that.
no, I'm coming.
Hold on.
Because
I'm reading
I
comments.
hate
People are
when
saying that
people use hatred.
all the
Wait.
Jew Igbos are from Anambra.
No, not only in Anambra. I mention Abia. You understand? I mention Abia. You understand? I mention Abia. No, I'm just giving you example. You understand?
Yeah,
I'm just giving you example. See, what happened is that there is a man called Igbo.
Okay, so
And there are some people that
one more
migrated
minute,
from here.
I have somebody on the line. Okay.
And there are some people that migrated from here to there.
Hold on, please, man. Hold on.
You understand? So
Yes.
I don't like when people use hatred and jealousy to qualify something that is truth. That is the only thing I have to say.
Think,
And here already,
I think your point.
and here already, there's many of them know the truth.
Your points.
Understand?
Okay, your points are well noted. One thing, like I said before, I like to bring clarity to some of these issues. There are people that have spent maybe 10, 15, 20 years researching on it. One thing this conversation this evening has done for me is that I must reach out. I must make inquiries, maybe within the university environment, and look at some of these intellectuals that have devoted their time and find out who will be, who agree to come here. And we'll spend all the time, let us thrash this out, maybe for posterity. It might help us. I have someone in mind already whom we wanted to talk about. I tell you, when you listen to this man talk about the meaning of Dibia in our need, you will be blown away. A professor, and he's so knowledgeable. Maybe I reach out and see if it's also his forte. But thank you for your point. Let's take another person who is on the phone. Hello, Mr. Kola. Where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Emeka. I'm calling you from London. I think I called you about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, Emeka, go ahead.
Yes. First, 3 things I want to quickly trash out. I'll start with the last caller. So the last caller mentioned some names in Igbo and places in Igbo land and said that they were in the Bible. So let me try and correct him. So he mentioned Abia. So maybe he's not aware. Abia, because I am from Abia State. The name Abia is an acronym for local governments. So the issue of you saying is in the Bible does not even exist because it was just an acronym that he just joined.
Can you help us with the acronym?
There's Bende, there's Arochukwu, there's Isikwato. I can't remember the last one. So those are the...
A stands for what then? Arochukwu Bende, Isikwato, and... I
can't remember the other one, Apa or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So my point exactly, I'm just trying to explain to him the fact that he's saying Abia in the Bible as in Abia.
It's a coincidence. Fair point.
So I am not saying what he's saying is wrong. Don't get my point.
No, I understand your point. Yes, you're right.
Yes. Then second thing to address is you had said earlier on that the African man was the first. All creation started from Africa, and it is against your, or rather, you do not believe that the Igbo man came from the Jew, or there's a way you put it.
Yeah, rather the other way. Because it's
rather the other way.
It's
I'm
illogical.
Subscribe to what you're saying. However, I need to explain certain things to you. Contrary to popular beliefs that Israel or those Arab countries like the Middle East, they are really not in the Middle East. They are actually in Northeast Africa. Or better still, I would call it Alec Bulan, because that's the original name of Africa. Africa is just a name that was given us by a Roman general called Scipio Africanus, who conquered North Africa. So the point where I'm giving you this history is for you to understand. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Why I'm giving you this history is for you to understand that if people say they are Jews, which I kind of believe 70%, because the original Jews were actually dark skinned, like me and you.
Mm-hmm.
However, there were what we call the current day Jews that are in Israel are called the Ashkenazi Jews. I'm sure you've heard of that before.
Mm-hmm.
These are new converts. And if you want to know more about this, maybe I can send you some links via this WhatsApp for you to read more, because I've been doing a lot of research on it.
Okay, thank you. Please kindly do.
One man went to more.
Mm-hmm.
What went to more? I see him as a bigot. And you mentioned something about discussing with your, well, I don't regard him as an enemy. You said discussing with someone that has a contrary opinion to you.
Mm-hmm.
I would subscribe to what you have said. However, I would not want to discuss with somebody that doesn't want to use his brain to think rationally. I do not think I can actually sit down with the person and discuss with the person and think rationally, because the person has a bit of bias already. Yes, everybody has a bit of bias, but his own bias, he has taken it to another level, where he tries to gain views by disparaging Igbo people on his platform, which is actually very condescending. So to end what I'm saying,
all these things you guys are saying, honestly, I don't.
I would advise that this man that you put on your platform, what's his name now? That man from Lagos State, the Igbo man from Lagos State. I feel he's an embarrassment. With due respect, he's old enough to be my father, but I believe he's an embarrassment to himself, to his generation, and history books will not really paint him very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's take, I think I have a Ben Omar. Sorry, the caller on the phone, you have to hold on. I have a Ben Omar here. No, joining us. Ben, you're welcome to the conversation. I know you are Igbo now, but the program is not in Igbo, so please.
Okay.
You say Ben. Omar. So why Omar? Omar, O-M-A-R. So it's not Ben Omar. If it's Omar, I know.
Omar.
No problem, Igbo A1. Okay, one idea. So onye nke na na nenu be udo deko.
I say, let me just use an English. I like your platform, but I like the way you handle.
So thank you very much. What's your point?
My point is just an advice I try to, the same advice you always give, that if people want to speak, they should always try to be diplomatical.
Sorry, come again. I didn't quite catch that. That people what?
I say just what you were saying before. You will say always that if people want to speak, they should try to be diplomatical. We are here to dialogue and discuss with each other, not to shout and abuse others.
Yes, we are here
so
to.
We can learn something from each other, or something we don't know, or something we.
That's true. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's what I just want to say.
Thank you very much, Ben Omar. So I'm bringing in Mike. Mike, after Mike, I have a caller on the line. Mike, can you quickly make your comment?
I think I keep entering and coming in. I think I'm a little. I've lost touch a little bit with what was it one man went to know.
Do you need an emergency?
This is weekend.
Please now.
I don't need the emergency. Anyway, I'm just relaxed. It's the power of internet and everything. You can speak from anywhere. Okay, well, the thing about conversation.
But I would have. I think again, the world is watching. I believe, as much as it's weekend, I think maybe we deserve some. Can you call back and maybe change position and do something with your dressing? Thank you very much. So you come back. I'll push you out for now, but come back, please. So can I take the caller on the telephone?
Okay, see, hello.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. I'm listening to you.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was calling because of that man who called himself one man, one tomorrow, or something like that.
But first of all, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Sorry. I'm Nnamdi. I'm calling from the UK.
Okay, thank you.
Listen, it's not, normally you can disagree with someone and have a conversation, but he's someone to have a conversation with. I will just give you one example. I don't want us to,
all of you are saying the same thing?
Issue. No, I don't want us to drag this issue for long because he just came here and since then we've not moved on from this topic. I just want you to know the guy. Let me give you one example. On his show, one guy from Anyoma, who said he's from Anyoma in Delta State, said he is a Biafran, and he kept on arguing with the guy that he is not a Biafran, he's not Igbo, that he desperately wants to be Igbo, and he doesn't give. He doesn't have any fair conversation with anybody who is.
Hold on. But does Biafra equal Igbo? So why the conversation is not even necessary because that is not. I don't see anything. Biafra does not equal Igbo. Biafra is more than Igbo. So what is it?
See, I'm not hearing you very well. Sorry.
I said that Biafra is more than Igbo. So Biafra does not equal Igbo. So what? I do not see any argument there.
See, you know what? There's let me see the name of that video. Maybe you can watch it when you have time so that you won't say, okay, we're just calling because we don't like the guy. You just need to watch one of his videos and you will conclude yourself. That wasn't the only, I was just trying to give you one example. Also, when he talks about Nnamdi Kanu, he doesn't use the word alleged. When you're not sure about something, he's just saying it that Nnamdi Kanu did this or Nnamdi Kanu did that. But when he's talking about the government, he uses that word alleged. He said Nnamdi Kanu is a so-called fugitive, that he jumped bail and is running around UK. They are chasing, Interpol is looking for him. Just random stuff like that. I don't know whether he does that on purpose just to make people agitated, but he's not a very good person to speak with. Sorry.
Okay, I see your point. Thank you very much for making that point. Thank you.
No problem.
So, wow, a lot of you appear to know this guy in question. So many calls just coming in because of him. So who am I speaking to? Let me get back to my sister. Who am I speaking to? Hello? Okay. Oh dear. Today, we didn't plan to stay this long, but today. It be like say one man went to the mall. Maybe a lot of you people angry. Yeah, hello. Can you move away slightly from the case?
All these people.
Okay. Please speak English. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all these people that are claiming that they're Israelite or they are from Hebrew, please, they should leave our land and pack their things and go to Israel. You understand? That's my own contribution. Thank you.
Can somebody respond to that one? This one.
Yeah, but I support the guy.
Can somebody respond to that one? Sorry?
I support the guy because.
Okay, please hold on. Let me bring you in. Can you tell us why you say so?
I support the guy because if you claim you're Israelite, then you pack your nose and go to Israel. Then if they accept you, you live there. We in Africa, we Igbo people, we should be proud of who we are and where we are. We can only fight.
Are you telling us that our brother Emeka that is there already, that he shouldn't come back? Emeka? Austin.
No, I never asked him not to come back.
See what they are saying. Are you from what they are saying?
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Austin. Go ahead.
See, no one is claiming that is an Igbo. Simple me, I can say I'm a Hebrew, not a Jew. And the thing that makes you a Jew here is that circumcision on 8th day. You understand? Even if you want to enter synagogue and pray now, Then we ask you, are you circumcised? You will say yes. On which day? 8 days.
So even if you're not circumcised and you lied, is there any way the synagogue will know whether
They must make sure they must verify whether you are circumcised
hold
or not.
on. I like this one. So they tell you to remove your boxers.
Yes. Somebody must check you. You understand? So let's forget about being a Jew or something. But I will say I'm a Hebrew. Which the Hebrew olden days, they are dark color. Most of them know it here. You understand? Most of them know it. Some of them have already say it to my face.
Slappy music says I am from Imo State. I am Igbo, not Hebrew. See, I don't know how we actually ended up. I don't know how we ended up arguing about being. This is not.
See, anyone can say what he wants to say. You understand?
Okay, hold on. I have another person on the line. I have somebody on the line. So let's hear his opinion. Okay. Hello, Mr. Kola on the line. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, Mazi. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, my brother. How are you?
I'm fine. My name is Chigozie. I'm calling from UK, from London, precisely.
Okay. You're welcome, Chigozie.
Thank you so much. Sometimes it's quite funny the way this issue of Igbos being Jews have really divided the Igbos. And I can only allude that to the lack of history in Igbo space in Nigeria. And that is the danger of when people are being upset in a society whereby their identity will be denied or their identity or something away their identity. In the Igbo space, when I was reading about Oloda, Gustavo Oloda,
Equiano.
When I came across about him, that was about 7 years ago. I was reading about his autobiography.
As you're talking, I'm just looking for the book because I just finished reading him again for the second time. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so I now began to, because I just take interest in him because why I take interest was that he was saying at the beginning of it, this is one of the men actually that really agitated or started the process of slave abolition. But later that credit was given to some white people. Then this man, they talked about how he was something of with the sister, he's coming from so-called part of eastern Nigeria of today. And now the guy said when he went to America, he was taught how to read and write and whatever. Then he started reading the Bible. So when he was reading the Bible of the Old Testament, he said, wow, now this really sounds like the culture of his people.
Of his people, yes.
And it's really that this is something that these people do in their culture.
About the thing there.
When you look at it, you see that it is completely true, but not really all that true. And this is the mistake. This is what happened in Indian land. The gap that was created by our forefathers that made the Europeans, when they came with the Bible and gave us the Old Testament, we now saw this Old Testament as an evil tradition that was written down. We now forgot that, because anybody that has to say I'm a Jew or I'm a Hebrew is that people don't know this history going backwards. Because the whole history of Israel or the whole history of the Bible is not more than 2,000 or 3,000 years. And the Hebrews have been the ancient people. And there's no way, like you just say, there's no way it can be the other way around.
So
if at all there is any connection between the Hebrews and the Jews, it should be the other way around, that they are coming from the
Hebrews. So you're making my point for me.
Exactly the same thing was Mazi.
believe in that plan, yeah? You know why? Because if we have to now go a little bit back, yeah, if we have to go backward a little bit, we have to understand that in that area called the Middle East today, is not called the Middle East, was not called the Middle East.
Okay, you know what?
The North East Africa.
Just summarize. We need to get back on track, people. Let's, when we, I think none of us is qualified probably enough to engage this topic. So let's all step down and come back to the issue at hand here.
Yeah, but Mark, you talk about you talk on I got on.
Go ahead, yeah. Go ahead.
So that area is called the North East Africa. And this particular area space where the Palestinians and the Israelites are today was the land of the Canaan. There were people called the Canaanites. Now, if we have to ask ourselves the questions, we have to ask who are the Canaanites? That is the question. Now, let's just leave that one at that. Yeah, Igbos are Igbos.
Listen, I said we should wrap this up. Don't stop dragging it, please.
I'm not saying anything. I've just made my point there.
Okay.
But let me just come to one man come to more. One man went to more. And just a quick one about that.
No. On that one, I'm putting a hard stop, please. It's not, we can't be discussing an individual. It's fine. You could have made those points then. I mean, 7 minutes now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just like you said, we have to be able to accommodate other people's view and listen to them when they talk. And even if we have to counter that, let's counter that with an argument. But the truth be said is that he is very, very derogatory to the Igbo race.
Okay.
You cannot judge the Igbo race based on what Nnamdi said or what whoever said. But just that's all I want to say.
Okay. Thank you very much for intervention. So let me come back to Mike. Yes, Mike, I think now you can. This conversation this evening now. Wow. Mike, you can now make your point.
Yeah. Well, the point I wanted to make earlier is that when people want to host a program.
Hold on. I hope you're not going back to Jew land now.
So he said, I'm not going back to what? To where?
I hope you're not flying to Israel. We are here in Anip. I hope you're not taking us back to Israel.
No. I'm not the chap that's not of Israel. I don't believe anybody can come from anywhere. You can claim anywhere. It doesn't bother me. It's your fundamental human right. As long as it doesn't, anybody can claim. What I wanted to make was in hosting a program because you allow opposing views. Some people do not. Some people will come with a mindset that this is what they are going to accept. And they will require you to present the evidence of what you say on the program. Even if you are telling them you are citing a reference where they should read, they will refuse. So I don't want to go back, but it's like what I'm saying has been overtaken by events. And I don't want to, to disrespect you and start hammering on what you said we should have closed. But in any way, I like where you have an opportunity to air your view, another person airs his or her own, and then you allow the opinions to flow. People are educated and enlightened enough to go back and think and know who actually is on the right path or what to follow. Let me stop here for now.
Thank you very much. I'm going to bring someone. He's gone now.
Hello.
But no, don't worry. I was about to bring
connection. Hello.
Just drop. But you finished now. You're still making hello. This is your internet. I thought you said you're in Europe. And how can we?
Are you hearing me?
Okay. I will mute you, please. Africa is now better than Europe. My sister, all this fight. Okay. Are you also Bayelsa?
I'm not hearing them. Okay.
Are you also Bayelsa Jew?
No, I'm not. I'm a full Nigerian.
Okay,
no,
you're
I'm
full.
A full Nigerian.
Are you Ijo or no? Your name there is it?
I'm Ijo.
Okay.
I'm a full Ijo, and I'm proud to be a Nigerian. I know it's just interesting, to listen to all these conversations. It's really interesting.
So you are an Ijo.
Yes.
How would you feel when there is a Republic of Ijo? Or rather, the nation?
No. I believe in one Nigeria. I believe in one Nigeria. I love Nigeria all my heart.
Okay.
No.
That's where I disagree with you.
I love Nigeria. Nigeria should be one.
Who's disagreeing?
I agree. I disagree. But Omar, Igbo nation will be better than one Nigeria.
No, but you see, that's the thing we talk about. She is Bayasa. You're saying you're bringing her to Igbo nation. Are you kidnapping her?
No.
Just told you she's Igbo.
At least when we fight for Biafra.
Listen. No. You see, people should be paying attention. She just told you something now. You said something completely opposite of what she said. If I had expected, if you want to counter her argument on that she loved Nigeria, you could counter her argument with the reasons why probably she shouldn't be arguing that way, but not kidnapping her, because that's what you actually just thought now.
No. Maybe I misspoke, but that wasn't my intention to kidnap her.
No, I understand, but I'm just pointing it out. So, but let's have a free man chick Ihejirika. Is it Ihejirika? Can you please turn on your camera or hello? Hello? Okay, I think Ihejirika, maybe he's in Isukwato, where they don't have
Mazi, there is one thing I want to ask you. These are our DPO in Igbo land.
Your what?
Our DPOs. The DPO, I mean the office, the police, the department of something. What's the full meaning of DPO? The
DPOs.
Department of Police, something.
It is indeed officer. Friday. Look at the way you just relax. You just didn't talk DPO.
I just finished work.
The way you relax now, you should be telling everybody here you are giving a recharge card 5,000. So all these people working in Nigeria should be getting a recharge card from the way you are relaxing.
No problem. Hey. And that was Wahala too.
No Wahala. I think maybe I will ask 5 people to drop their number so that we can recharge them their data.
Okay. So
go ahead.
I just want to find out how many of DPO in Eastern Nigeria that is an Igbo or our tribe member.
I don't know, but I don't think there is no, not DPO. I think you're mixing things up. I think probably you're referring to the commissioners of police within the south states in the southeast. Those that head police services.
And they also need
no, the DPOs, these are divisional police officers, where you have divisional officers. So I do not have that data. Sorry, I do not have that data. But what I think, if I have inclination of what you're talking about, I should think the commissioners of police. I had a conversation.
Last time I had a problem with in Onitsha here. I found out that the DPO is not even an Igbo man. Even the assistant DPO, the only way before we get Igbo man was third in line. His name is Okafor, somebody Okafor. So I said to myself, how can I get myself out of this trouble?
Which trouble? Did you kill anybody?
I did not kill nobody. You know that Nigerian problem. I didn't kill nobody. It's just when I visit, I run into a friend of mine who has problems. I said, okay, let me go and help him out. So when I said, okay, I want to speak with the DPO. Let me know exactly where this trouble is going. Before I know it, they say the man must sleep there. I said, no, he cannot sleep. I cannot wait here and watch him sleep over there. They say, okay, I have to. Before I ask for DPO, that is how I came to ask for the DPO, because it happened in Europe. If you want to see the boss of any police station they take you to, they will provide it for you.
But you are not in Europe now. Welcome to Africa. Welcome to Nigeria.
That is where my question comes from.
Let me come back. Thank you very much. Let me come back to my sister here. I think many people are questioning when you said you love Nigeria. Let me have this conversation with you now. Many people I can see here are saying, why do you love Nigeria? Why not a nation that probably could bring development closer to your doorstep, as opposed to some argue that the reason why Bayelsa is not doing all right is because it's within Nigeria. But there are other school of thoughts that might also think that is not correct, because Bayelsa could actually, they have all it takes for them to do right, but they are not doing it. So can you tell us why you think you're so proud of Nigeria, even in this madness happening in Nigeria?
Do you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter. If we have an Israel nation, it doesn't matter if we have a Biafra nation. It doesn't matter. What we lack is good leadership. If we have good leadership, I feel that all our issues going to be resolved. People clamoring for Biafra, for Duduwa, for Israel nation.
Hold on now. Who they break plate for your house? Who they break plate for your house? Not be plate that they hear they fall anyhow.
No, it's not me. It's not me. It's not
me.
Okay,
Okay, sorry then. It must be from Ihejrika. Okay,
no.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, it's not me. It's not me. Maybe somebody else.
Okay. I'll come back to you. You say it doesn't matter. Let me take Ihejrika. Ihejrika, are you still there? Ihejrika, are you there? Okay, let me take the caller on the line. So who am I speaking to on the telephone line? Then Ihejrika, when you're setting. Yes, who am I speaking to?
This is Emeka calling from Germany.
Emeka from Germany. Emeka Nabend.
Yeah, good evening. I'm here.
Emeka, would you mind holding on? I think Ihejrika is before you. He has internet connection. Now, suddenly he speaks like a president I know with ear infection. So when the thing enter, they do like NEPA. Now, so that time he go talk. So Ihejrika, can you talk again? See, I talk. NEPA don't take light. So please, my brother, continue.
Yeah, okay. There's a comment they let him back in this place now. He said he's proud of Nigeria and he loves Nigeria. My question is, my question I want to answer is, what makes you proud of, what is the benefit you have from Nigeria that makes you proud of Nigeria?
Okay.
Yeah, I can be happy to say I'm a proud of Bayelsa. I said okay. But Nigeria, you left to another country to go and study because Nigeria, you cannot afford it in Nigeria, and you are proud of the country that you cannot even afford to study there. You know one thing, like in Germany, when I tell people that I'm from Nigeria, you know what people call me? I say you are Boko Haram. I can never even proud of to tell somebody I'm from Nigeria. But when I tell somebody, okay, you are from Biafra, okay, these people that want to go out from Nigeria, I say yes. It's more. It's not that
the Germans.
If I say I'm proud of Nigeria, I must mention one thing. I benefit from Nigeria. I cannot tell you I'm proud of people that's no security. no good road. Since when they born you in this Nigeria, have you ever had a stable life for 1 week? No. In Europe, you have all. That's why you are here. If you told me I'm proud of Bayelsa, I'm happy. I'm proud of
but hold on, no. But hold on, no. But hold on now. But hold on. Do you also agree that she has a right? Let's start from there.
No, she has a right.
Exactly. Okay, that's fine. No, hold on. You don't complicate the. You agree that she has a right to be proud.
Yeah, she has a right.
Exactly. So let me go back to her. Thank you very much for your point. So, sister, you hear some people they para for you, say you talk that you're happy of Nigeria or being a Nigerian, that Nigeria, the same Nigeria that has failed you and led to you fleeing. And when you fled, you now have a better future for you and your family. What do you have to say? What do you have to say? Did you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
Okay.
I have to respond to the gentleman. But
Okay,
you see,
go
we have to believe in something. You know what I'm saying? Because I can hear you very well.
Go ahead, yeah.
I have to respond to the gentleman that just said that I fled. I didn't flee. I came to America, for a better prospect. Because you see, we all have to work hard as people, as Nigerians, to make Nigeria better. And one thing we have to do, the first thing we have to do is to educate our siblings back home, to make them sure that, their vote is very, very important. So, they have to choose the right leaders, and we have to be able to educate everybody. I'm not against Biafra. I love Nnamdi Kanu. I listen to him. I like, the way he speaks. But the point is that, tell me, how are you going to break a nation without war, without fighting, without shedding blood? You see, my father died in the Nigerian war. I lost a father. The war was not good. So, let's just begin to educate people back home and make them understand that, you see, when they vote for the right leadership, things will change. So that's why I believe in one Nigeria, that we all have to work together as a people and just keep educating our people back home. Like me, I call my family back home all the time and let them know that your vote is very important. Don't sell your vote for 5,000 naira for a bag of rice. So all we need is education. Keep educating them. I can say, I respect your opinion, but as a person, I love Nigeria. I love one Nigeria. I'm in America. I've been here for 25 years. But trust me, I come to Nigeria every year because there's nowhere like home.
Okay, you talked about electing good leaders. Hold on. I think Ihejirika's internet is still playing out. I'll still okay, hold on. You talked about electing leaders. By that statement, don't you think you have indicted all the leaders that have governed Bayelsa as failures? Because if Bayelsa is not working and is not making any improvement, the other time we saw videos of the VIP areas in Bayelsa, that is where the House of Assembly, the governors, I think ex-president, where they live underwater. So I think they were going into their houses with Kenny. All the road, do you understand? So Bayelsa gets one of the posts, gets I think it's one of the first three in terms of revenue allocation. Yet I remember when Bayelsa Airport was built, the amount you hear, where things are managed properly, if you give it to someone like Peter Obi, for instance, maybe he can build 3 airports with that. And 1 kilometer of road in Bayelsa, granted that is a water area, where a lot of soil treatment has to happen before roads are built. But when you hear the amount, wallahi, it might actually, poke your eardrum. So in all this, do you think that Bayelsa, which is part of Nigeria, that Bayelsa has not produced good leadership? Or don't you think if Bayelsa was to be like Qatar, a very small nation that has oil, that decide and define her own destiny, that it will be the way it is today? What do you think? Go ahead, my sister.
Do you know? I am so sad when I go to Bayelsa. I feel so sad because I used to love Goodluck Jonathan, but I was so disappointed in Goodluck Jonathan, for not improving. This is your state, and you are the president of Nigeria. You can't even work on Bayelsa. The leadership in Bayelsa is terrible. It's terrible. There's no good leadership in Bayelsa.
So now, if there is no good leadership in Bayelsa, can I now ask, is the reason why there is no leadership in Bayelsa, can that be linked back to Nigerian system?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Then
Yes.
if that is yes, and you think that system that makes Bayelsa not to work is a system you must love, what do you think? If somebody comes to your house, go to your fridge, takes everything from you, you come back from work hungry, this is the food, you let this food be, and you went to work, then you come back, and the person maybe came with other 50 people, all the moi you prepared, because in America, you people like to do things big. So the moi you prepared for your family maybe for 2 weeks, the person come, even the gari, he don't soak him, use all your milk, everything. Then he come back very hungry, and the person, you knock at, you put your key in the door, and the person, you look, say, who be this? He say, madam, are you hungry? There is one we finish all the food, but get one sour shop where we find for one side, make you manage and so. And the person spoke to you very nicely. Will you say you're proud that person spoke to you nicely? Or will you go back and say, Haba, I even enter my house? Ab initio. What will be your reaction, madam?
But you see, I understand what you're trying to say, but my point is that, I'm saying, I still go back to, education. We have to educate our people.
So you're saying that Bayelsa people are not educated?
No, it's not by book now. It's not by book, but education when it comes to
Okay.
elections.
You're saying that Nigerians are not educated.
No, like when it comes to election, like to elect leaders, we have to begin from the grassroots. We have to go to the grassroots and start education when it comes to electing leaders. That's what I'm saying. No, not by intellectual. How to elect leaders. We have to go back to the grassroots and start looking for leaders. I'm saying, to elect. So we have to educate them electorally, to pick leaders, because every leader we pick in Bayelsa, even in Abia, in Anambra, all our leaders are failing us. I don't know about Biafra. I don't know about Biafra, but I say I love Nnamdi Kanu. I listen to him. He's a very intelligent man.
Let's not. We are basically narrowing down the thing to the comments you made.
But you see, my point is that we have to start picking leaders.
Okay. So I have a caller from Nigeria on the line. So, Mr. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Marvelous.
Please, can you lower the system? Can you off or lower the system, the handset or television, wherever you're watching me with, because the echo is feeding back here.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Imo State.
Okay, thank you. And what's your contribution?
I've been following your program, and honestly, it's really nice. But regarding what my sister here said, she just deviated from the question you asked her. You asked her a simple question. The same system that made your state not to work, is that same, are you still telling us that that same system, you are in love with it? She deviated from answering that question and start saying something else, different from answering the exact question you asked her. Can you just tell us, when was the last time you've seen a election in Nigeria that was free and fair? People will come out to vote for the right candidate that wanted to vote in. But at the end of the day, those people at the seats there, they still face the particular person they want to be there on the seat. In Nigeria, election doesn't count. The election doesn't count. Just like this election I've been doing before now. Like, you're using PVC to do election. Using PVC to vote happens down in the south and in the east. At north, they are still voting manually. At north, they are still voting manually at north there. One person can vote with 10 fingers. But down there, after the registration, they'll still tell you some registered voters, some of the registration, they are invalid. They're using those things to confuse, to bring down the number of our votes down there. But up there, they don't consider those things. Everybody can vote. Then I served one certain time, I served at Gombe State. 5-year-old boys voted. But down there, they'll tell us if you are not up to 18 years, you can't vote. They're using it to bring our votes down.
But that that is that is a systemic failure.
Of course. So all this, everybody have the rights to decide where he or she come from. But the system she says she loves, she deviated when they asked her the question. That same system you think that makes your state not working. Are you trying to tell me now you are still in love with that state? She couldn't answer. Honestly, I'm a tempered person because even I called in, I was like, I just calm down to watch you ask her question. When you ask her question your own way, she couldn't answer. When she says she loves Nigeria,
why are you angry?
Hello?
Why are you angry? Why would you be angry?
I didn't hear you.
I said, why will you be angry?
No, okay.
He said you are a tempered person, that you were angry the way she answered. I mean, she has a right of opinion.
Of course, I know she have her own right of opinion. Yes, it's applicable to everyone. I get it. But honestly, to be honest with you, no right-minded person will see all this ongoing in Nigeria and open mouth to say, I am still proud of this place.
Well, okay, let me play the devil's advocate again. People might not be like the argument, the meeting we had today with Dele Mamodu and Olisa Abakoba, SAN. People might not, like many of us, so disenchanted with Nigeria that things are not working. But some may argue that the solution must not necessarily mean to break it up. People say that if your house is leaking, must you talk about demolition? Some will say if your foundation is wrong, you must demolish it. But it's neither here nor there. Hence, when people like myself, will say at the end of the day, what is going to happen, people would have to decide for themselves. No one should decide for them in a form of a plebiscite. how they want to. And if people 18 years is an adult, and everyone, will decide. But again, what the elders must know that they are in the minority. The majority are the younger ones. Sadly, if you're going to use PVC to do referendum, you'll be shocked that day those that ought to go and cast their vote in a referendum will be playing football because it must be declared a public holiday as usual. At the end of the day, everybody will come out and complain that it was either rigged or that there was low voter turnout. Anyway, thank you very much for your call. How is Imo State today? I hope there is no ta-ta-ta-ta-ta in Imo State. Are you people sleeping well?
Leave Imo State was honestly.
So can you update us on what is happening in Imo State today then? Let's use the opportunity.
Honestly, what is really happening there is not encouraging at all.
So may I then ask you what is happening in Imo State?
The invasion of the military in the state is too bad. You cannot tell me people are coming. People are not too scared to go.
I saw
to their normal basis.
I saw pictures flying today that there is a show of force by the military. Are those pictures real?
Of course, everybody there, we all are living in fear.
But do you by the activities of that has led to where security agencies are being killed nilly-willy, do you think the security forces ought not to protect themselves?
Listen, all this problem emanates from the imposed governor in the state.
So the governor is right to say that those are his political opponents.
He's not. I don't think that is right. He's not right because you cannot tell me what. Like for instance, for someone to impose something on you that this is not what you wanted, and you wanted something, you voted for something you want. At the end of the day, because of the selfish interest and their selfish agenda, they now take somebody as in the first. The fourth happened to be the first in the state. It is not. It's not done. It's unfair. It's really unfair. And the person sits there for him to protect the seat that he has been imposed on. He's ready to sacrifice anybody. Look at the killings. And innocent people, a student is walking on the road. They didn't even ask her, stop, don't go to this place, go back, go this place. The next thing is trigger. The person dies. The motorists killing all everywhere. And once these people kills, they attack that person, anybody. If you see any young able man on the road, the military, you are now one of the ESN. If you are not the ESN, they can shoot you and nobody can say anything. Are you getting it? It's very, very annoying. They are just there living in their own comfort zone. So it is really, really annoying.
So those of you who are Catholics, go get your, is it chaplet or rosemary? No, not.
Honestly,
what's it called?
Let me tell you. There is one thing God cannot do for us. God has given us wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Are you getting it? God has given us the right sense to do what is right at any particular time. Just like you are now. You cannot just after cooking and now say, God, I want it to come down from heaven and feed me in your mouth. It's not possible.
Or you ask God, you can ask God to come and cook, but that's what we are doing in Nigeria now.
No. There are things God cannot do for us because He has given us the wisdom to do all those things by ourselves. Are you getting it? Okay, all these things that is going on in the southeast, I really don't understand. Down there in the southeast, there are no Boko Haram. They only have all these herdsmen invading people's farm with their cattle and cows, destroying things. And now people say, no, we don't like this thing. Please, if you want to stop destroying the crops you have in the bush, then when you chase those people, then the federal they'll give an order. It's too bad.
I think we are coming close to the solution by the virtue of this open grazing. So the moment that is, rarely enforced, I believe it's going to.
I I followed that. I followed that program. Honestly, when I was like, I saw what this man from North said. When this man from North said something, that why didn't the Southeast governors consulted the Fulanis before they had a meeting? Honestly, I wish I had seen him face to face. I would have eaten him like kilishi. I would have used him to do kilishi.
You people should be coming down, please. You be coming. Your blood are too hot. You be coming down, okay?
But it's an insult. Honestly, I just wish that the South governors they can just see what these people are taking them as.
But no matter how you look at it, that was a master stroke. And that's why everyone, we have castigated them. Now they have, or rather it has appeared that they've done something that we've been demanding for. Okay, so on that note, let us cut them some slides. That will be my point on that. Anyway, I'm rounding up now. Thank you very much for your call, and stay blessed, please. Go away from any trouble. It will pay us, and it will pay the Igbo nation that you are alive. Please stay out of trouble, and may God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Many of you, who they call me video call, now what to you, sir? If you do them again, I will block you. Whether are you in the other room to be calling me video call? Listen, stop. If you're listening to me and you're calling me video call, stop, please. Okay. In rounding up, let me bring back my sister here. I see how she has gone. I'm bringing you back. I see you have gone and you brought some papers.
Yes, they were doubting me if I was in America. So
no. We don't. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, don't.
Show them my,
No, don't do that, please. Don't. You don't. No, you don't need to prove anything.
Certificate right here.
Please, you don't need to. You don't need to prove anything. Listen. If I tell you that I am in Zungeru, and you are doubting that I am not in Zungeru, is it my problem or your problem? Somebody says you're in America. Exactly. Somebody says you're in America. By me looking at the furniture, the light, the ceiling, it shows where you are. So it's common sense. It doesn't matter. Okay. So in conclusion here, I saw when you moved, I thought you wanted to go and get us the map of Biafra and map of Bayelsa to show us where Bayelsa actually is. But be that as it may, I will not say, before I leave you tonight, can you, once more give us your concluding thoughts this night? It has been a very wonderful time speaking to you, so give us your concluding thoughts.
Well, I just want to say, I read the comments. I just want to say to my brothers and sisters, I understand how you guys feel. I understand how you guys feel, but you know what? I'm entitled to my own opinion. As I said, I love Nigeria. And, I just wish that, we can all work together and love each other. No hate. There is no time for hate.
Okay, thank you very much. And my good brother, can you also make your concluding in Israel? Actually, I talked about Israel today, what was happening. So, Austin Obi. So, what's your view in this Hamas? Oh, you're already in the Azar room.
No, that's where I was before when I was calling
you. You're in Israel. There is no light in Israel. Is NEPA also in Israel? Do you have NEPA?
Since the day I entered this country, since the day I have been in the country, I haven't seen the light taking off for one day.
Okay. So that's fine. So what's your concluding comment? And regarding, did you see any rocket? Did the rocket come near your house?
No. You know, I live in Tel Aviv. Maybe it may happen in other states, but I live in Tel Aviv.
Okay. So they don't fire rockets in Tel Aviv?
Yeah. Like today.
They don't fire rockets in Tel Aviv. Yeah. I think you're listening to me with a different device, but on that note, I will say thank you very much for joining me. Okay. So all of you, it's been a pleasure to have this interaction. I believe we will do more of this because at the end of the day, no one is an island of knowledge. As the Bible says that iron sharpeneth iron, it is better to judge all than to war. So we keep talking. Some people that speak English will say we keep regurgitating, you know. We keep talking and we keep finding a way to resolve our differences. But know we that on this platform, one thing we do is that we are civil and we rather engage in conversations, because in conversation, as I normally tell us, that my mentor, Chinua Achebe, normally says the following, that among the Igbos, the act of conversation is regarded very highly, and that proverbs are the palm oil with which words are eaten. On that note, I will say, everybody, thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope that we will have another time, maybe tomorrow, maybe next, to have further conversations. And thank you. Enjoy your evening and have a wonderful